No jeans, so slacks, right? Slacks. All right, well, thanks a lot, Coach Welke. I really appreciate it. I want to say what's up to all you guys. I know most of you guys. I don't know everyone's name in the room, and I'm looking forward to really getting to know all of you a lot better. So really my goal today, guys, is to talk to you about helping create a vision, not for today, not for tomorrow, and not even just for this season, but for the next several years of your life, and especially as we get ready for this season that kicks off tomorrow. So really excited for the season that does start. And I want to, as we are talking about vision, I actually brought a pair of sunglasses I'm going to hand out to every one of you guys. I'd like for you all to put them on, if that's all right. It's going to be a symbol of us all being able to start seeing things from a new lens. So I'm going to pass these out real quick, if you guys don't mind. I got you. Yeah, if that's cool. Here you go. No problem. Coach has got to wear them too. Here you go. Which one? Blue ones? Okay, all right. You get one? I want to make sure everyone got one. Huh? Yeah, keep them. No, it's a gift. It's a gift from me. Okay.
What about coaches?
I thought I brought 25.
I think we're 27.
Okay. All right. So none for the coaches. All right. Who did I miss? Who did I miss? You get one? Okay. Did I miss anyone? All right. I think everyone got one. All right. All right, so. All right, if I get you guys' attention, I won't take too much of your time. Thank you guys for putting them on for me. So we're going to talk about the four principles or four tips or whatever you want to call it, but 4 aspects of creating a vision for your life. And I want to encourage you guys to, number one, really define a vision for where you're heading. So, I'm not saying that at age 18, 19, 20, I know you guys are all different ages, but I'm not expecting all of you guys to have the entire vision for the rest of your lives mapped out and created and put together. And, the truth is, my vision is changing. I'm sure the coaches can sit here and say that, your goals will continue to change and all that. But I do think that all of you guys should be in a position to define a vision for the next 3 to 5 years of your life. And if you're not doing that, I would advise you guys to re-examine that and try to find ways to create that vision. And there's many ways you can go about doing that. And that would be spending time with people that care about you guys. And maybe it's not a parent, maybe it's a brother, a sister, an uncle, a cousin, maybe a mentor, someone from your neighborhood. Maybe there's a pastor from your church. I don't know who it is, but like I said, you guys know who it is. And, I would really encourage you guys to find out who that person is and have them spend time with you to give you guys that vision. And, a little story about me. I know Marcus and a couple of you guys were at the last event I spoke at for the opening ceremony. I talked about how when I was in college, I actually went to Harper for a year. I got kind of off track for a couple of years, and I wasn't sure if I was going to finish school, and I started to party a lot, and I think I told you guys I got a DUI, and I'm not proud of that, but the point is I made some mistakes in my life, and I actually spent time with a guy that was a tutor. He was a guy who tutored me for math, really cool guy, and we would actually come down to the gym and play ball, shoot around, play pickup, and he actually ended up being a mentor for me, and we now he lives in Los Angeles, but we talk on the phone every week, and I give him updates on what's going on, and he kind of holds me accountable, for what I'm doing, and the point I'm trying to make is he's really been a great mentor for me, and I think without having that person in my life, I wouldn't be doing the things I'm doing today. So, It doesn't have to be a parent, doesn't have to be a coach. We're all here to help you guys, but I would just encourage you guys to find someone that can, help you with that mentorship. So after you define that vision, I want you to encourage you to reinforce that vision, and it's got to become a habit. You know what I mean? I'm not expecting you guys to be authors, but research shows that when you're really serious about something, you can write it down. So, if your goal is to get into a certain school or whatever it may be, write it down. Write it on a little sticky note. I know it sounds kind of wacky, but when you get in the shower in the morning, you can put it on a little sticky note, put it on the mirror in your bathroom and look at it. Other things you can do when you're coming to school, when you're getting in your car or walking, or you've got your headphones on, say it to yourself. Whisper it in your head, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I don't know what it is, but the more that you're constantly reinforcing what your goal is, and the more that you tell yourself what you want your goal to be, you are what you say you are, right? You guys all say you're ball players, and you're out here playing ball. So just want to encourage you guys to always reinforce that in your minds, and when you have a goal, kind of stick with it. So I would also encourage you guys to eventually, you've got to do it, right? Once you've defined it, once you've reinforced it, you've got to do it. I know it sounds kind of harsh, but losers are the kind of people that say they're going to do something and don't do it. Losers are the people that talk about doing something but don't act on it. So I want to encourage you guys to really act on that goal, whatever it may be, whatever that goal is. I want to tell a really quick story about Kobe Bryant. I know you guys obviously all know who Kobe Bryant is, and I'm sure most of you guys like him, or at least respect him for sure. I was actually talking to Isaiah about that story. You guys probably know this story about when Kobe was playing in the Olympics last summer, and one of his trainers, it was a guy that was a trainer that he had met with, and he told the trainer, he said, hey, you can work with me whenever. Literally, I don't think the trainer understood what saying whenever to Kobe Bryant really meant, but he told Kobe Bryant, whenever you need me, I'll work out with you. So it was 3:30 in the morning. The trainer gets a call from Kobe Bryant. He says, hey man, the guy's half asleep. He's like, hey, it's Kobe. I'm down in the gym. Can you come train with me? And the guy's like, all right. He's watching Sports Center, about to fall asleep. So the dude gets up, goes down, sees Kobe Bryant working out in the gym at 3:30 in the morning, dripping sweat. And they end up doing an hour and 15 minutes of conditioning. And then they do 45 minutes in the weight room lifting together. So it's a 2-hour workout. So 5:30 in the morning, the guy goes back, goes to sleep, wakes up at 11 o'clock, was sleep deprived, drowsy, tired, couldn't even barely function. Gets up, goes down, sees he sees Carmelo and LeBron talking in the corner, getting ready for a scrimmage at 11 o'clock. Looks over, sees Kobe. Kobe's dripped in sweat, shooting around. He goes up to Kobe, he's like, hey Kobe, how was your night's sleep? Kobe looks at the dude and he's like, sleep? What are you talking about? Kobe's like, I didn't go to sleep. I had to make 800 shots. He wasn't taking 800 shots. He had to make 800 shots. So Kobe literally worked out from 3:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock and then played in a scrimmage. And this is at age, I think, 34, 35 years old. So if that's not having a vision and sticking to your vision and making sure that he's reinforcing his vision, I don't know what is. You know what I mean? So Kobe's basically saying, no matter how old I am, no matter what happens, I'm going to make it happen. So I just thought that would be a little story that might, get you guys a little inspired and something I wanted to share with you guys. So I'm going to wrap it up. The fourth principle, or the fourth tip, is really to measure your vision. So once you guys have found the right person or people to talk to, whether if it's a mentor or a family member or one of the coaches, make sure they're holding you accountable for that, and make sure you're holding yourself accountable to go up to them. Don't wait for someone to approach you. Go up to them and ask them. Maybe you guys thought you were going to play D1 or D2, and maybe D2 or D3 is more realistic. Maybe you thought it would take a couple hours to study and it takes a week to study. I don't know what it is, but constantly think about measuring and making the right adjustments along the way as you guys continue to focus on your goals. So the last part that I want to share with you guys is another story about an athlete. He's a little bit older, so I don't know. Do you guys all know who Deion Sanders is? I'm getting old, so I'm making sure you guys know about primetime. All right. So you guys know about Deion. He played football, baseball, one of the best athletes ever. So I follow Deion really closely. He's someone that just really motivates me a lot as a person. And as you guys probably know, he actually played in a NFL game and in a World Series game in the same day. Like, the dude was good, man. Like, he really revolutionized football. He wore like a bandana, and he had like gold chains and earrings and rings, and like he just had like this whole swagger that wasn't around in the early 90s. He really like invented this new swagger. So I actually watched the Hall of Fame speech that Deion Sanders gave when he got inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. And he talks about how when he was becoming primetime and he created this thing, this like image that was primetime, Deion Sanders, he actually explains where it came from. And he talked about how he had a lot of people that hated on him, and a lot of old timers, a lot of broadcasters and coaches and fans and people that were from, back in the day. They kind of were like, what is this dude doing? Like, why is he like that? He had a lot of haters. And he talked about how his vision and why he became primetime. And he shared a story about when he played for a traveling football team in high school. It was like similar to like an AAU team. Most of you guys probably played AAU ball, right? So we played like the AAU version of high school football. And he talked about how it was a very affluent team. Like, it was a lot of rich kids, and they said the parents were doctors, lawyers, chief of police. Like the families had money, you know what I mean? And he said he was embarrassed and he was ashamed because some of the kids on the team were in the hospital and they saw his mom pushing the cart. And she was pushing the cart in the hospital to make sure that Deion Sanders he could have, made sure he had all the gear he needed for football, made sure he had everything he needed. And he said at that time in his life, at that point, he said to himself, I'm going to do whatever it takes. It's not going to be illegal. I'm not going to sell drugs, but I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure my mom never has to work another day in her life. And he said that at the speech. And he said he created this image. It was this thing called primetime, where he would, do the dances and wear all the jewelry and have the, all the stuff he wore and everything. And it wasn't because he was cocky. It wasn't because he thought he was so cool. It wasn't because he was trying to be better than anyone else. It wasn't because, the things that people thought he was doing it. He did it because he never wanted his mom to ever work another day in her life. And now she's sitting in a mansion with him, and she's never going to work another day in her life. And that just really motivated me a lot, man. I just wanted to share that story with you guys. That's from the heart. And whatever it is, I don't know all you guys' stories or backgrounds or where you're from. I don't know, but I do know that I'm sure all of you guys can think of something in your life, whatever it is, that can get you fired up and motivated like Deion Sanders was fired up and motivated. And I want to encourage you guys to use that as motivation and as fuel for this season, as we prepare for this season. And that really wraps up my talk. But before we end it all up, I want you guys to all follow me onto the court. We're going to all walk onto the court, and I'm going to take a picture of everyone, the coaches and all you guys. I want you guys to all hold up the number 1 sign, and that's going to be a symbol for this team winning the Division III Junior College National Championship this year. And I think that should be our vision. And whenever you guys are getting down, whenever you're having a rough day, whenever you're, had a tough day in school or a tough day at practice or whatever, you guys can go back to that picture and we can talk about you guys being number 1. So if you guys could follow me, let's go onto the court and let's take a picture.